The most important skill in healthcare is one that very few doctors and nurses still know how to do. It's not a surgical technique. It's not reading a scan. It's not anything you'd find in a medical textbook. And here's the thing. This isn't just about healthcare. If you work in customer service, sales, management, if you've ever pitched an investor, sat in a job interview, or sat in a doctor's office feeling invisible, this video is about you. There's actual research, real, published studies, showing that this one skill changes recovery times, changes whether people follow their treatment, even change whether a doctor gets sued, and it's vanishing. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, but first, I need you to meet Dave. Dave is 71, room 412. He's been in the hospital for 2 weeks. His wife passed 2 years ago. His kids live 3 states away. They call when they can. Now, here's something most people don't realize about being in the hospital. You are almost never alone, and you are almost always lonely. Think about Dave's day. 6 a.m., a tech comes in to draw blood. 7 a.m., the nurse checks vitals. 8 a.m., breakfast tray. 9 a.m., the doctor rounds with 2 residents. Then physical therapy, then housekeeping, then the lunch tray, then another vitals check, then the evening nurse, then the night shift. Dave sees maybe 15 different people every single day. And all Dave wants, the only thing Dave wants, is to talk to somebody about baseball. Dave is a lifelong Cubs fan. He listened to games on a transistor radio under his pillow as a kid. He was at Wrigley in '69 for the collapse. He has opinions about the bullpen, and he has been saving them for up to 2 weeks. So every time someone walks into room 412, Dave tries. Did you catch the game last night? And here's what he gets back. The tech, eyes on the vial. Didn't see it. The nurse, eyes on the IV pump. That's nice, Dave. Any pain this morning? The doctor, eyes on the computer screen. Okay. Sounds are good, labs look good. We'll check back tomorrow. Door closes. 15 people a day, 0 conversations. Now let me be clear about something. Nobody is doing anything wrong. Dave's vitals are taken on time, his meds are right, his chart is perfect. By every metric the hospital measures, Dave is receiving excellent care. And Dave has never felt more alone in his entire life. Here's what should scare you. There are thousands of Daves in every hospital, in every city right now. And the thing they're not getting, that's the skill. That's the thing that's disappearing. Hold that thought, because first, you need to understand why this happens. It's not because healthcare workers are cold people. It's 3 very specific reasons. Reason number 1, time. There's a famous study published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine. Researchers analyzed 112 recorded visits between doctors and patients, including at the Mayo Clinic, one of the best hospitals on earth. When doctors invited patients to explain why they came in, they interrupted after a median of 11 seconds. 11 seconds. Count it out. 1, 2, 3. You wouldn't even get through describing your symptoms, and it gets worse. Only 36% of doctors even asked an opening question like, "What can I do for you today?" And among specialists, it was only 20%. Here's the kicker, and this is my favorite part of the study. Patients who were not interrupted finished their opening statement in about 6 seconds. 6 seconds. That's all the patients needed. We're not asking doctors to sit through a podcast. The interruption doesn't even save time, but I get it. Doctors are crushed, appointment slots are shorter, patient loans are bigger, and there's a screen demanding documentation for every minute of every encounter. The system is built like an assembly line, and listening feels like stopping the line. Reason number 2, it's not what they were trained for. Medical school teaches anatomy, pharmacology, diagnostics. Nursing school teaches assessments, medications, procedures. And here's the irony. Medical educators say one of the first things they teach students is to ask open-ended questions and let the patient speak without interrupting. Then those students hit the real world, and the real world trains it right back out of them. Nobody's performance review has a line item for "made Dave feel like a human being." You manage what you measure, and we don't measure this. Reason number 3, and this is the big one, they don't even think of it. And this is not cruelty, it's invisibility. When you do something 15 times a day, 5 days a week, the person in the bed becomes part of the workflow. Room 412 isn't Dave who saw Ernie Banks play. Room 412 is vitals, meds, chart, next. Every one of us does this. The cashier you didn't look at today. The coworker whose "how are you" you answered without hearing the question. Task focus makes humans invisible. Healthcare just happens to be the place where that invisibility hurts the most, because the invisible person is scared, sick, and alone. So what's the skill? It's listening. I know, you might be thinking, that's it? Listening?
You listen well, brother. I'm listening.
Yes, and the fact that you just had that reaction is exactly the problem, because we all think we already do it. We don't. Real listening is not waiting for your turn to talk. It's not nodding while typing. It's not, "That's nice, Dave." Real listening means the other person walks away feeling heard, and you cannot fake that feeling. Humans detect it instantly. And here's where it stops being a soft skill and becomes a hard science. A 2024 study in JAMA Network Open followed nearly 1,500 patients with chronic low back pain for a full year. Patients treated by very empathetic physicians had significantly better outcomes in pain, function, and quality of life, and physician empathy was more strongly linked to favorable outcomes than non-drug treatments, opioid therapy, or even lumbar spine surgery. Being genuinely heard was more strongly tied to long-term improvement than back surgery. Let that sink in. As the lead researcher put it, empathy goes beyond being nice. It's a skill, and it's a tool. Research has also linked the empathetic doctor-patient relationship to stronger immune function, shorter post-surgery hospital stays, better blood sugar control, fewer asthma attacks, even shorter colds. And studies connect empathy to fewer medical errors, better adherence to treatment plans, and fewer malpractice claims. And speaking of lawsuits, the stat is wild. A famous JAMA study compared primary care doctors who had been sued with those who never had. The never sued doctors spent an average of 18.3 minutes per visit versus 15 minutes for the doctors with claims. And the difference wasn't the complexity of the medicine. It was behaviors like asking the patient's opinion, checking their understanding, encouraging them to talk. They even laughed more. 3 minutes. The difference between getting sued and not getting sued was roughly 3 minutes of feeling heard. Another JAMA study found most patients' complaints clustered around a small minority of providers, and the risk had nothing to do with how complex the illness was or how technically skilled the doctor was. People don't sue doctors who listen to them. People sue doctors who make them feel like a chart. And if you think I'm exaggerating how powerful this is, let me tell you what a friend of mine pointed out. You know how you have these older family members and they all tell you about their doctor? "Oh yes, he looks so nice. That's a nice young man there. Yeah, I know he took off the left foot instead of the right foot, but he was so nice." Now look, I'm not saying being nice excuses cutting off the wrong foot. Please, keep cutting off the correct feet. But think about what that tells you. The connection was so strong it survived amputating the wrong limb. Grandma is out here defending this man. That's not a joke about old people. That's data. That is the single most powerful force in all of customer service. When people feel genuinely cared for, they will forgive almost anything. And when they don't feel heard, they will forgive nothing. The bill is suddenly outrageous, the wait was unacceptable, and the lawyer's number is already dialed. Now zoom out, because this was never just about hospitals. Every customer service interaction on the planet runs on the same engine. Think about the last time you were furious with a company. Was it really the broken product? Or was it the chatbot loop, the script reading rep, the feeling that nobody was actually hearing you? The product is replaceable. The price is matchable. The feeling of being heard is the entire brand. But here's where it gets really interesting, because listening isn't just defense. It's not just how you avoid lawsuits and angry customers. It is the most underrated offensive weapon in your career. Pitching, interviews, negotiations, leading a room. Think about how most people pitch to investors, to their boss, to a hiring manager. They walk in with a script. They've rehearsed their points, and they're going to deliver those points no matter what happens, like a vending machine in a suit. The killers? They walk in and listen first, because you cannot sell anything to anyone until you understand what they actually want. And what they want is almost never what you assumed in the shower that morning. The investor isn't asking about your revenue model because she cares about the spreadsheet. Listen closely and you'll hear she got burned on a company just like yours last year. Address that and you're the only pitch she remembers. The interviewer asking, "Tell me about yourself," isn't just asking for your resume. He's asking, "Are you gonna make my life easier or harder?" Answer that question. Every person you will ever pitch is silently broadcasting what they need. Most people are too busy performing to receive the signal. And here's the principle that ties it all together. Write this one down. The last person to speak leads the group. Watch any meeting. The person who jumps in first, talks the most, fights for airtime, they feel powerful. They're not. The person who listens to everyone, lets the room empty its pockets, and then speaks, that person sounds like the only adult at the table. They address what was actually said. They resolve the tension everyone else was talking past. The room turns towards them. It works because speaking last means you're the only one operating with complete information. Everyone else reacted. You responded. Doctors interrupt in 11 seconds and lose their patient's trust. Pitchers interrupt and lose the deal. Lenders interrupt and lose the room. It's all the same skill, and almost nobody has it anymore, which means the bar has never been lower. If you actually listen fully, with your face and your attention, you are instantly in the top 1% of every interaction you have in healthcare, in business, in your marriage, with your kids. So here's your homework, and it's almost embarrassingly simple. Tomorrow, pick one interaction and give that person 2 uninterrupted minutes. No phone, no formulating your reply while they talk. If you work in healthcare, 11 seconds is the average before an interruption. Just don't interrupt. Patients only need about 6 seconds. You can afford 6. Ask the follow-up question. When Dave says, "Did you catch the game?" the entire skill is in the next 5 words. Who were they playing? That's it. That's the whole revolution. Because here's the truth about Dave. Nobody in that hospital could cure what was actually hurting him. There's no medication for invisible, but any single one of those 15 people a day could have treated it in about 90 seconds by sitting down and asking about the Cubs. Maya Angelou said it best. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That's the whole video. That's the whole skill. The doctor's diagnosis? Forgotten. The nurse's perfect IV placement? Forgotten. Whether Dave felt like a human being or a room number, he'll carry that forever, and so will every patient, every customer, every investor, and every person you ever talk to. The greatest skill in healthcare, in any business, in any relationship, is making another human being feel heard. It's almost gone, which means it's never been more valuable. Be the one who listens. If you like this content, go ahead and page me, aka smash that subscribe button. Thanks!